Hello, everyone. My signature project is about emotions and decision making. A little personal reflection on why I decided to do this project is because I feel very strong emotions. Sometimes I feel like more than others. So I often make my decisions in emotional states. And I wanted to know why this happens and what I can do to stop the more rash decisions, like maybe yelling at somebody or getting upset or telling somebody something that I don't actually mean, and how I can fix that and be less quick to just using my emotions. What the research says is that emotions are essential in how we make decisions. They are the first initial response we have to stimuli before we start to bring in logic. So we'll make an emotional decision and then we'll logically see if that decision is a good one or a bad one. This allows everyone to react quickly in different situations that require it, but it could also cause bias and judgment towards others. So, using a mix of emotion and logic is where we get the best answers to our questions. The role of emotions in human interaction. Emotions influence how we engage with the world and how we perceive others, their behavior, our connections with them. Rather than carefully analyzing every situation, we rely on our emotional cues in deciding how to respond because we don't have the time to fully logically think everything through. These reactions can affect how we build relationships and make judgments about others. So we use emotions in almost anything we do, especially relationships and decision making. Effects on cognition and decision making. Motions have direct impact on cognitive processes as they influence how we interpret the information we are receiving. They have the ability to speed up our thinking so that we rely on intuition and not just logic. In a toddler classroom like my own, it's especially important to know this because young children mostly use emotions on how they feel in the moment rather than higher order logic. And recognizing this connection allows me to be more supportive and help guide my toddlers in their responses so they can build those higher order thinking skills. Some key insights from the research. Emotions strongly influence how people think, interpret situations, and make decisions. Many decisions are based on emotional reactions first, rather than pure logic. Emotions can speed up thinking by encouraging intuition. The most effective decisions happen when emotion and reasoning are balanced together. Why this matters in my field of early childhood education is toddlers heavily rely on emotions because higher order thinking are still developing for many, many years. So their reactions are immediate and emotion based. In early childhood education, knowing that these are closely interconnected means their behavior comes from these emotions, and I should be patient and willing to help them regulate these. Why this is important for others to understand is that we make countless decisions a day without fully realizing um, we're doing that and how much emotions shape our choices. Becoming aware of this can help us better understand not only our own reactions and behavior, but others, which improves communication and reduces misunderstanding. Overall, understanding emotions and decision making better helps self-awareness and more thoughtful choices. The impact on my job is that understanding this helps me respond more effectively to toddlers' behavior in the classroom. It reminds me that challenging behavior is often emotion driven, not intentional. And it encourages me to focus on support, patience, and emotional guidance instead of being quick to punishing them for making decisions they do. I also have some examples from my classroom about how I take my understanding of emotions and decision making. This is an instance that often happens when one of my toddlers is quick to respond, maybe grabbing a toy from another friend or pushing another friend. I want them to really see what impact their decision had on their peer. And when they see that someone's sad, I often ask them, what can we do now that they're sad? And we often get lots of sorries and hugs like this. And it makes the friend happier and it makes the first friend realize, oh, maybe my decision was not correct. Maybe I shouldn't do that in the future. This is an example of how we regulate before we make those reactions. If I see a child getting upset, getting angry, we have this cozy corner with a bean bag and books where they can lay down, read, relax before jumping into their decision. Or we also have this teddy bear called a Medi Teddy, and they can give it hugs, play with it, make that their peer for a little bit before they calm down so they can interact properly with their peers. And that is it. Thank you.